Today I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5, Episode 18. The past few episodes have been pretty tough to get through, dealing with the loss of Joyce and everybody processing in their own way what that means to live without her. In the last episode, Dawn, with the help from Spike, was trying to bring back Joyce. It didn't end well, and we saw Joyce in some kind of what I'm assuming would have been a zombie form, and just as Buffy's about to open the door to see her mom, Dawn decides to rip the picture, which ultimately ends the spell. Willow also was trying to help and gave Dawn this book that led her more information, so I'm very nervous to see what this episode will be about. Glory now knows that the key is a person. She doesn't know it's Dawn, but is getting terrifyingly close to finding out who it could be. Buffy has been trying her best to keep everything together and has kind of taken on this mom role now, obviously now that her mom has passed away. Says they weren't able to reach their dad and that the number they had for him wasn't in service anymore. Yeah, definitely just been a tough couple of episodes. I'm not even sure what to predict for this episode, if they'll pick up where they left off in the last one, if it'll be more Glory focused. Obviously Joyce has been the focus for the past few episodes. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Hurry, and we have to name them.
Hey, I was like 5 then.
Buffy.
Just think about it. I was never there for Riley. Not like I was for Amy.
She definitely wasn't, no.
Before that, Riley left because I was shut down. He's gone.
And I think now she's finally processing that. Yeah, it's a lot of loss.
Love, Giles. It feels strange.
I shouldn't wonder.
It's interesting to see that she feels like she lost some kind of this, like, softness to her.
If you have to go learn, I mean, if it'll help you out, I think you should do it.
Oh, that's nice. Dawn's being understanding. Yeah.
It'll be okay.
I think Buffy should go. I think it'd be good to get out, see a new place. Oh. Now Buffy's telling everybody she loves them.
I love you too.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Weird love's better than no love.
Some say it's better than the real thing.
Oh, no. I'm terrified to see this. Terrified.
Everything he asked for. All the extra programming. Tons of real-world knowledge. The profiles you gave me about her family and friends.
All.
That's terrifying.
Sure, I'm a satisfied customer. She looks a little shiny to me. You know, a touch of plasticine.
Oh my god, this is gonna be terrifying. No. Oh, no.
She'll do.
Yeah, he's convinced now. Oh my god, I was worried when this was gonna come into play.
I'm losing him. I'm losing control of him.
You're speaking of Ben, most glamorous yet tasteful one?
I love how they always follow her, like, name with this fancy title.
Sharing my body with an enemy that stabs my boys in their mushy little stomachs.
He's like, please don't.
And I'm trusting you boys to get it for me. If you love me.
And they, like, perk back up again. They're like, oh, us? We do so.
Supplies. Wondering about that. Like food, water, maybe a compass.
What about a book, a gourd, and a bunch of twigs?
Not what I was hoping for. Yeah.
This is me to take her place, and then a week later it leads you to my bleached bones.
Buffy, please. Takes more than a week to bleach bones.
Not what she was going for. But, yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here.
Jump out of the circle, and I jump back in it, and then I shake my gourd.
Oh my, what does that do? It does sound like he's gonna do the hokey pokey. For the enthusiastic Giles.
Why not?
I want to hurt you, but I can't resist the sinister attraction of your cold and muscular body.
Oh my god, this is gonna be insane.
No, Spike. Never let me go.
You know you should be afraid of me.
Spike is gonna have way too much fun with this thing.
You gonna do it that way?
No.
It's like, that's my favorite black shirt.
This way.
Is she gonna kill him for real? Oh no.
You can't do it.
I could never do it. I'm helpless against you, you fiend.
Oh my gosh. Spike, you're up to no good.
I know this place.
Is this where we had the first Slayer? That's the first thing that came to mind.
To watch this thing on the History Channel tonight? Salem witch trial stuff, which is only gonna get her all upset.
I was there. It really wasn't that bad.
Oh, Anya. Whose earrings are she stealing? Oh, Dawn.
Pizza.
You're evil.
And that excites you.
It's Spike's hair. Oh my gosh.
I try so hard to resist you, and I can't.
Yeah?
Darn your sinister attraction.
It's funny to see her play a robot and just be very, like, static and with her tone and these, like, forced responses.
You can if I let you. And I want to let you. I want you to bite me and devour me until there's no more.
Spike's like, I've been waiting a long time to hear those words. Oh my.
Oh, Spike, devour me.
Oh, gross. It's so cheesy.
Should I start this program over?
Shh. No programs. Don't use that word. Just be Buffy.
And just like the constant smile, so bizarre. But he's clearly just a mad obsessed and is living out some weird fantasies with Buffy. Yeah, and now Glory's minions are gonna go like process of elimination of anybody who spends time with Buffy. Or are they gonna think Robot Buffy is Buffy?
Time to slay.
Yeah.
Oh, they programmed her to actually go out and slay. What happens if Buffy sees Robot Buffy? I mean, that can't be good news.
Hey there,
Buffy.
Xander.
Of course she was programmed to know friends and family. Yeah, here we go. Make
Anya.
Spike happy.
How is your money?
How is your money?
Fine. Thank you for asking. Isn't it a beautiful night for killing evil things?
Does she have like power buttons on her jacket? Like they're like lighting up.
I don't understand that question. But thank you for asking. You're my friend and a carpenter.
Are they gonna know something's up? She's just stating facts about them.
Spike! It's Spike. And he's wearing the coat.
And they're gonna know something's up because she wouldn't be this excited to see him.
Ow! Hey!
Give a fella a break there, Slayer.
I'm glad you're all here.
She's following him around like a puppy.
We ought to split up.
We haven't seen any vamps, so you sure there's...
And cue the vampires.
Be careful!
Oh! Yeah, and the minions watching are gonna think this is the real Buffy.
No! Get away from him!
I mean, it's good that she can actually kill vampires, I guess.
Fine.
But I'm not. I'm all... My skin is all hot.
Oh my. Oh my.
You better feel me to make sure.
I can do that.
These lines are so bad. Oh my god, Spike.
Hey, she never asked about Dawn.
It's true.
Something's wrong.
Yes, put it together, please, notice. And the fact that she's hanging out with Spike. Oh no, I feel like they're gonna see some things they can't unsee soon.
You're the big bad.
Oh, gross. Ugh.
Satanic than thou attitudes. Oh, honey, let's change it. The Discovery Channel has koala bears.
Much better choice.
But Tara's right. Grief can be powerful, and we shouldn't judge.
What are you kidding? She's nuts.
Thank you, Tara.
You aren't really gonna slap her, are you?
No, but if I have to see her straddle Spike again, I will definitely knock myself unconscious.
Probably for the best. Yeah, that's something you can't unsee.
Hello? Who's there?
Oh my god, this is terrifying.
Who's that?
Spike's hair. I can't get past it. Oh my gosh.
That's just a bonus.
Gentlemen, I'm so sorry to intrude, but I wondered if I might beg.
No. Oh, bonked him. Oh, God.
Tie his hands!
They think Spike's the key? Oh, well, he's a vampire, but that's about it.
Intact. Key? Who's a key? I'm not the...
But he knows who is, and I'm worried he's gonna spill once he's in a precarious situation. This thing's gonna haunt my dreams. What's happening?
You're the first Slayer.
That's what I thought.
The pain. It is your nature. Love will bring you to your gift.
Yeah, she's worried about getting hurt again, and yeah, I don't know what this gift they're talking about.
Come in. Shh. It's late. Everyone's asleep. Wait.
I hope Willow can figure out that something's up. And she knows that she was just with Spike.
Did Xander find you? He was looking for you. He hasn't come back. Anya sat up waiting.
Best friend, gay. Witch, good with computers.
Just this one time you just did something kind of crazy.
It wasn't one time. It was lots of times.
Oh my.
Different ways.
Oh my.
I could make sketches.
Oh my, no sketches.
Before, but Angel had a soul.
Angel's lame. His hair goes straight up, and he's bloody stupid.
That's what Spike told her to say, obviously. She doesn't normally use the word bloody as a curse word.
Really am, but...
You're recently gay.
The fact that she's just stating facts to her friends, yeah. Oh, there's Xander's back.
So how do we find him?
I fight with weapons.
She wouldn't know what to do in these situations. She can't plan ahead. She just has programmed responses.
I'm getting a gift? Or do you mean that I have a gift to give to someone else?
Death is your gift.
I'm sorry, what? Why's it gotta be death? Come on. For who?
No.
Hers? No.
I kill demons. But it is not a gift to anybody.
Your question has been answered.
Well, that was frickin' mysterious and ominous. She had more questions. Oh my gosh. I feel even more confused about what's going on.
Lesson number 1, vampires equal impure.
Yeah, damn right, I'm impure. I'm as impure as the driven yellow snow. Let me go.
Oh my.
We observed the Slayer. She protected this one above all others. She treated him as precious.
My precious. Because she's a robot.
But if the Slayer protects him, maybe appearances are deceiving.
Oh my. Oh my.
Maybe there's something on the inside.
She's gonna look into his insides. Ooh! With one finger. Yeah, don't look, Vinny.
What can I dig out of you?
Oh my god, so much digging around. Ugh.
This is my house.
If we're gonna stop Spike from blabbing about...
It's been nice to have some comedic elements in this episode, especially given how the past few have gone. And Robot Buffy.
Oh. Group hang time?
That was quick.
Didn't seem like it to me.
I'm worried she's gonna see Robot Buffy.
Buffy, we need to talk.
What's wrong? Is Dawn okay?
Dawn.
See, this is real Buffy.
Having sex with Spike.
The who, what, and how with huh?
Okay, that's denial. That usually comes before anger.
Oh no, they think this is all part of her grief, yeah.
No one is judging you. It's understandable. Spike is strong and mysterious and sort of compact but well-muscled.
Does Xander have a crush on Spike?
Spike. But I'm starting to think that you might be.
I saw you. Anya, too. We saw you and Spike with the straddling.
Spike's mine.
Cue Robot. Yeah, here we go. They're meeting. I was worried this would happen. Yep.
She's very well done.
Spike must have had her built so he could program her.
Oh, God.
Yep, they're putting it together now. The horrifying truth.
Going to harm him. Glory has Spike.
We were gonna bring that up.
We were getting weapons.
They're like, we were just getting through this robot stuff first, and then we were totally gonna mention that.
It's a vampire that won't talk. Like an apple.
Ooh!
Think I can do you in one long strip?
Oh Oh my. I thought she was gonna make a joke about the core or something, or the peel, but
I'll tell you who the sodding key is.
No, Spike, don't you dare. Don't you freaking dare. Or let's hope he lies, which would be like his nature.
Listening to the other Buffy Giles. She's very smart and she's gonna help us save Spike.
Giles, Spike didn't even bother to program my name.
He probably did it on purpose.
He is, and there's no way he's not telling Glory. You're right. He's evil. But you should see him naked.
Oh my. Stop.
Split up and spread out. Check the priciest looking places first. Xander, you come with me. Willow, Anya stick together, and Giles.
No, she's calling him Giles.
Do you think you can try to talk again now? Good. Because I'm tired of these.
Oh! Right in the face.
What's his name?
On the television?
That show, the price show, where they guess what stuff costs.
The Price is Right. Bob Barker. He's gonna say Bob Barker's the key. Oh my god, I love a good Price is Right reference.
And beaten body of Bob Barker.
It is not Bob Barker, you scabby moron. He is new to this world. And Bob Barker is as old as grit.
But a timeless treasure.
The vampire is lying to me.
As much of a snake Spike is, I don't think he's gonna sell her out.
Get your sodding key, because you might be strong, but in our world, you're an idiot.
Oh, that's not gonna help your case.
The god of what? Bad home poems?
Shut
up. Spike!
Mark my words, the Slayer is going to kick your skanky, lopsided ass. The cheap, whorish, fashion victim, ex-god like you.
He's one for insults. Ooh! Sets him free, though, and that's what he wanted, so here we go.
Yeah!
Of all the times for the elevator to not be there. Yeah. Come on, Spike. Oh! Oh! Face first! Going up. Oh my gosh. Oh! Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh no! Oh, nice one! Oh no! Short circuit the robot. Well, now she knows where Glory lives. Trying to repair the robot. Oh. Are they gonna keep her around now? Is this now a thing?
Told her anything, but he was too badly beaten to make much sense.
Well, even if he told her, he'd just lie to us about it anyway, right?
That is very possible, yes.
I mean, she could be on her way right now.
But not to worry, you know. I'm sure we'll all be perfectly safe.
Don't say that, Giles. Don't say that. That's a trap.
I found where she's broken. Some of these wires got fried extra crispy. It's an easy fix.
Buffy's like, we're not fixing this. She's gonna send back the robot. Oh.
Spike, you're covered in sexy wounds.
Not a thing. Not really a thing. He's like, I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
His both of his eyes. He has two black eyes. Oh my gosh.
Will fixed you? I'd have thought they'd melt you into scrap.
They were confused too. Do you want to ravage me now?
Oh my.
Give us a minute. Got some bones need mending.
Yeah, I think he's more in cuddle mode right now.
She wanted to know who the key was.
Oh, well, I can tell her, and then you won't.
No!
Let's not go down that road.
Anything happened to Don, it'd destroy her. I couldn't live for being in that much pain.
He definitely still cares about Buffy, obviously. Is it Buffy pretending to be Robot Buffy? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Ah, Buffy!
Am I a robot?
She needed to find out. Yeah.
The robot
Damn
was
it.
gross and obscene.
Yes, very much so.
Don't. That thing, it wasn't even real.
She just needed to know what he said. Yeah.
I won't forget it.
Yeah, he definitely had a chance to say something and didn't, and obviously that means a lot to Buffy, and him confessing that he would never do anything to hurt her, and he knows how much Dawn means to her. And so that was my first time watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 5 episode 18. It was nice to have a more comedic focus episode, as obviously with Joyce's passing has taken over the past few episodes. They've been very emotional. There was still some pieces of that in this episode. Obviously there's going to be a lot of conversations and dealing with the passing of Joyce for the foreseeable future. It's going to have a huge impact on Buffy, but this was the first look at them kind of finding some routine or trying to get back to normal, whatever that looks like. Buffy was hesitant to go back to training and back to her routine as a Slayer because, as we find out, she's worried she's been shut off emotionally, and I think for the first time kind of admits to herself that Riley left because she wasn't able to let him in like she had let in Angel, and she's worried slaying was the cause of that. I do think it's a situation where she cares too much, like she cares so much about people and she cares so much about her friends and her family, and maybe she doesn't outright express that as often, and maybe this will remind her to do that, as we see, telling Dawn, like, I love you repeatedly, and telling Giles, I love you repeatedly, because she just wants them to know. And to see her worry that her mom didn't know that she loved her was heartbreaking. I know they didn't always have the greatest relationship, but I feel like, especially in the later seasons, they had been doing better, and I in no way doubt that Joyce really, really loved Buffy and loved Dawn, so it was a little tough to hear her say that. And to hear Buffy say that she loved her mom the most, and, her mom finding out she was a Slayer, and, coming to accept that, and finding out that people are vampires, and all of these pieces that, she didn't really know existed until now, and it's just going to be a big hole in Buffy's life going forward, and it was just tough to see. And again, I'm so glad Giles is around. It seems like he's been helping out more around the house, and is trying to, be there for them. We know Spike had put in an order for this doll, and then obviously everything with Joyce took over and it kind of got pushed to the back burner, but now the doll is ready, and it was horrifying to see. And the fact that it wasn't like a robotic doll, I mean, obviously your speech patterns were robotic, but much like April, it looked exactly like a person. Like, it was obviously Buffy playing both parts, so that was especially off-putting because it was hard to separate, again, other than her speech patterns and the inflections, but it was tough to see this character that was Buffy acting this way, and it was nice to have those comedic elements. The lines were super cheesy and over the top and ridiculous, and things that Spike would want so desperately to hear from the real Buffy, when she's being, super dramatic and overly affectionate and all of these things, and just this like permanent smile on her face, and just, her programming screen came up basically, and it just had a button that said like, make Spike happy, basically. Like, that was her only goal in life, and was just determined to do that no matter what. And it was interesting to see how the Scooby Gang responded. Even Buffy was mad that, like, hey, you didn't figure out this was a robot? Like, you didn't figure out that this was me? And I understand why they would chalk it up to grief, but also they should have kind of guessed. I thought Xander and them put something together when she said, oh, she didn't ask about Dawn. And then when we see Buffy later, the first thing she says is, where's Dawn, or what's going on with Dawn? So I feel like that should have been a dead giveaway, but it's kind of tough because everybody's processing their own stuff anyway, and dealing with Glory, finding out that the key is human and going after Spike. As much of a snake and a monster that Spike can be, I don't think he would ever tell Glory who the key is, and we see him admit that inadvertently to the real Buffy at the end, but I think if he likes something, he really likes it and is loyal to a fault to that person, character, whatever it might be. But it would also very much be like his character to completely abandon that and turn it in to save his own skin, which I feel like we might have gotten to that point. I don't know. I'd like to think that Spike wouldn't do that, and it sounded, like I said at the end, that he had no intention of ever telling Glory who she was. But again, Spike has had so many moments of being like very compassionate and understanding, and then just being a complete monster. So it kind of depends, but I feel like Buffy and Buffy's family obviously falls within the line of things Spike doesn't want to destroy, and he obviously really cares about Buffy enough to make this horrible robot after her. And it was so bizarre to see the two of them interacting, and at the end I definitely thought it was the robot that they had sent in, and I was like, why would they keep this thing around? Like, is she going to be part of the show now? Like, she's a slayer, so will they send out robot Buffy to go slay at night so that nothing happens to actual Buffy? Like, where is this gonna fit? And then we see Buffy's expression, slowly change, and it clicks. Oh, okay, this is the real Buffy, and just wearing the robot's clothes, basically. Spike definitely took a beating from Glory, and he was not looking good at the end. I know he'll make a recovery, but he definitely put up with a lot, and, at any time you could have turned them in. It was funny to hear him say that it was Bob Barker, and it's scary to think that Glory knows it's someone new. So, I mean, will she just go through the youngest person that Buffy knows, which again would be Dawn? So, especially as we get closer to the end of the season, I'm very worried to see when she puts it together. I'm assuming she'll put it together at some point and goes after Dawn officially. I'm glad Buffy went out on this quest to try and find more about herself, and we had this first Slayer reappear again. We have seen the first Slayer, I think, at the beginning of this season, early on, and they'd kind of set up to learn more about Slayer history and stuff, so it was interesting to see us go back to that, and to have this Slayer, dancing on the other side of the fire. We never really had a clear image of the Slayer, and the way Buffy was explaining, like, okay, I'm afraid that I'm not capable of love and I've lost my humanity, and the Slayer saying that death is a gift. I mean, what does that mean? Please, no spoilers, but Buffy was very clearly upset by that because she's like, hey, I just lost somebody. This is in no way viewed as a gift. And then Buffy kind of spins it as like, I'll kill all the demons you want. Like, that's not a problem. If that's a gift for somebody else because I've spared their life by killing this vampire or whatever, she's like, that's fine. But I don't think that that's what it is. I don't know what it means. I'm very worried it means that something bad's going to happen to Buffy, but that's, ever since I started this show, I've been worried something bad's going to happen to Buffy, so I'm very curious as to see where this comes into play. I don't think it'll be in the next episode. I don't even know if it'll be in this season, but the show definitely plants seeds and then reviews them later, so I'm sure this will come up at some point, but yeah, very ominous, very concerning as to what that could mean and how it could be viewed in a positive way. Typically gifts are a positive thing, and she didn't say present or surprise, like she said gift, and that's also usually something you give somebody else, so it makes me worried that somebody's gonna sacrifice something. It's like, that's where my mind is going. Please no spoilers. It was so bizarre to see Buffy and Spike together. I know it was the robot, but it was still so bizarre. And clearly Spike is a man obsessed and just so deeply in love with Buffy, and he wants so badly to live out these fantasies, and I don't know how long he thought this robot would be able to stick around before somebody caught it. But, like, why would you program it to go out and slay at night? Like, that would obviously be a risky time for it to interact with people, as obviously we saw Xander and Anya see the two of them together in the cemetery. And the fact that he programmed it with backstory about friends and family, and Robot Buffy is just listing off all these, facts, like, you're my best friend, this is my house. Like, definitely some comedic elements for sure, and just the way she delivered it, and, good comedic timing, but that should have been a sign right then, and especially when they're making a plan to go take out Glory. Robot Buffy had no plan, because she's not programmed to, spontaneously make up plans. She's programmed to have certain responses to certain situations, and that's it. She's not thinking, obviously. She's just doing what she's been programmed to do. But the fact that Spike put in that much detail was terrifying, but also in true Spike fashion. We also saw Buffy recall where she had chased that snake that was heading to Glory's house. So now Buffy obviously knows where Glory lives, at least the building that she lives in. So I don't know what that means for future episodes, if Glory's going to leave town, if she's going to have to find a new place to hide out. We saw Dawn steal some earrings in this episode. I don't know what those are for or what that's about. It's interesting to think from a production standpoint how they would have filmed this, because they would have had to, from what I'm imagining, from what I've seen in other shows with similar situations, they would have had to film all the scenes with Robot Buffy, then film all the same scenes again, but with regular Buffy standing in a different spot, basically talking to nothing. So It just, a lot of time and effort goes into stuff like that because you're doubling your schedule basically by having to film everything twice. There was very few scenes that Robot Buffy and real Buffy were together, but still, I just appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. And I don't know if they at one point considered getting a robot version that wouldn't be as lifelike or that could easily be replaced by something else, but it was very clear that it looked just like a regular human. You couldn't really tell that it was a robot until you started interacting with it. Overall, I thought it was a good episode. I was worried after the intensity of Joyce passing away. Sometimes a few episodes later it kind of dips because they put so much effort into the one episode and dealing with all of these components that it kind of comes in waves where it's like a great episode and then goes back down a little bit, but they've maintained it, and this was a great episode. So weird to see Robot Buffy. It was so funny to see Spike mention that Bob Barker was the key. I love a good Price is Right reference. Dawn is kind of processing everything. She was kind of in the background for this. Obviously, Buffy was the main focus for this episode. I'm terrified to find out what death is a gift means. Grief could be perceived in different ways, and how basically the Scooby Gang just thought she was acting irrationally because she was grieving and so heartbroken, and that would be the only logical explanation for her to do something like this. I hope Spike doesn't try and make another robot. I don't know what he's gonna do now, but Buffy definitely saw at that end scene how much he cares, and I don't think it's ever been a question of how much he cares, it's how she feels, and I don't think this is gonna win her over, but I think it might be one step into them maybe talking more often. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the two of them together anyway. It's been weird, so I'm very curious to see what that's going to lead to, if Spike will be back hanging out with the Scooby Gang again. Definitely a tough episode without Joyce. It's going to be weird not having her around anymore. I know she wasn't in every episode, but just having her presence as this character is going to be incredibly missed. But thank you so much for sharing on this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. It does sound like he's gonna do the hokey pokey. Oh my, no sketches. Programmed responses. Well, that was frickin' mysterious and ominous. Cue robot. Yeah, here we go. They're meeting. I was worried this would happen. Yep. Of course she was programmed to know friends and family. Does she have like power buttons on her jacket? Like they're like lighting up. She's gonna look into his insides. The Price is Right. Bob Barker.